Look, what's crazy Tranny up to now? It's like, it's like all the little racists who discriminate against us. They're going to say, Tranny's building a bomb. Hey, pegs, protect us. Tranny's building a bomb. Well, possibly, yeah. It could be that. But actually, it's a kitty cat food can with a hole poked through it with a screwdriver so that we could fill it with dirt. Yes, we could fill it with some soil and some nutrients and plant some of these boy-girl trees, seeds. Yeah, because Minnie goes to Brookings, Oregon, and wants to do some recycling because, we don't have a residence. We're not allowed to have a home or a pot to piss in except for, a bucket. We go to bucket church, poop church in a bucket because Nancy Mae says we're not allowed to use the toilet. So we goes to, we're in the neighborhood of Brookings, and we goes over there to their recycling place, and we says, hey, we got some Amazon boxes and some kitty cat food cans and some aluminum drinks cans and some styrofoam that comes in the Amazon boxes and, some paper and different stuff, plastic and glass containers. And we wants to recycle those. And he pulls up to this little hut-like thing. It's like a hut. And there's this vagina that works in there. It's painted up like a clown. Hey, ants, look at you guys. Ants. They got the little home in this boy-girl tree. What you guys doing? So anyways, we pulls up to the hut. And this vagina painted up like a clown comes up out of there. And we say, yes, or we wants to do some recycling here. We have some things, and that's like the second time we've been there. And the first time Tranny shows up, they don't have a problem. But they've had, since the first time Tranny shows up and the second time, they've had time to jump on Facebook and go to church and interact in their other their corporate circles, and had time to all agree that when they see an out-of-state tag and it's also a tranny, that you have to use whatever powers that you at your disposal to covertly find ways to make us feel unwelcome, uncomfortable, discriminate. So as if to say, we don't want any nigger, faggot, tranny queers around here. Yeah. So they do this by, we tell them we're here to recycle. That's all. The only reason we're here. We don't have any trash to throw away. We just have recycling things. And they say, is it recycling? And Moody desperately wants to be a bitch. Moody desperately wants to be a sarcastic fucking bitch and throw back at them something along the lines of, oh no, well, we just drove all the way to fuck across town because we think it's fun, and we have so many resources to just throw away. Yeah, we have inexhaustible resources, by which we can just, give it to oil companies and car manufacturers, and we have all these different they're unending, they're never-ending fucking resources that we can just totally use to just drive over here for the fun of it. Yeah, that's the only reason we stopped in here, was for the fun of it. Yeah, we want to be sarcastic, but they're going to use that as an excuse to be even more mean to us than they already are. So we simply say, yes, it's all recycling. And then, we goes and we puts it in the proper containers. We puts it where it goes, and we leave. But now, because of their attitude, we don't want to go back there. And we don't want us to go back there. Minnie's got all these different experiments going here. See this? This is that's a boy-girl tree seed with its little, like, rabbit ear flag or sailboat sail on top of it. And we thought, well, we'll stick it. We'll try to do that one as natural as possible. And because we did that, it's like, oh, well, maybe that's how those little flags evolve. It's like they not only, aid the seed in, like, blowing it away from the tree, but also help it to, like, stand up. Like when it gets down in this dirt, the little flag on there helps it to stand up. It helps it to stand up, but not only that, to orient it so that it takes root into the ground that way, but also in places where there isn't a lot of rain, there's moisture in the air, but the plants have to grab it. They have to have this mechanism to grab hold of it. And so this little flag acts kind of like a little sail that grabs the moisture in the air, and then it runs down the flag or the sail. Yeah, it goes down there and deposits into the soil around where this little seed's trying to grow. That's logical, isn't it? You're not allowed to think those kind of things, Trinity. You're not allowed to have those kind of thoughts, and you're definitely not allowed to have that speech, because you're definitely also not allowed to have number 2, which is firearms, either that or poop. You're not allowed to poop or piss. And you're not allowed to deposit those soldiers. You're not allowed to quarter those soldiers in a latrine. That's number 3. So we're just going to plead the 5th and drink a fucking 5th of gin or something. But this is what we do with our kitty cat food cans, since we're not allowed to recycle them. Yeah, they want to discriminate in Oregon. And then we stepped across the border to the California side, and they have what they call waste management authorities or whatever. And we go over there. We say, hey, we got the battery to recycle. It's one of these Halo batteries. It's like a car jump starter and a little battery pack to charge your phone. It's like it took a shit on us. Many possibly fried the circuitry when we plugged it into a solar panel that doesn't have any transistors or reducers or whatever. And many didn't think. We weren't for sure about the solar panel, because we had another similar one that had it had a limiter in it. That you could plug things into, and we think we fried the circuits, because, the solar panel's rated for 400 watts, but you know how to get you on that. If you're on the equator, in the middle of summer, they say that's the potential that you can get out of it. But if you're in this, if you're in this latitude, and it isn't quite summer yet, well, so far we've gotten like 275 watts out of it. And anywhere in that neighborhood is probably enough to burn up the circuit board and the battery. So yeah, many fucked up. But anyways, we have to dispose of this battery. So it goes to there's a little boy-girl tree, see? There's a couple more. And we got to dispose of it. So he goes to this California side. And they say, well, sure, yes, we can recycle your battery pack for you. If it's got electronics, it's going to cost this much, like $2 or $3 or $4 or whatever they say. They want some bucks. It's like, we don't have any bucks. We have these treasury notes with the word dollar written on them, and we have a couple British pounds, some shillings and sixpence and halfpennies and threepennies and threepenny bits and farthings and even far things, because when they chuck Dickens on a children's playground, it's a far thing EYE do than EYE has ever done before. It's a far thing, an eighth of a penny. You say you eat a penny, you eat it, you eateth of it, you eateth of a penny, and they call it a far thing. But Mooney is afraid that they're trying to get us to be subjugated to their authority, which they don't have over us, unless they can get us to agree to give them some bucks. And so we try to tell them, we don't have any bucks. We have these treasury notes with the word dollar written there on. And so, Minnie gets triggered by that, and we don't want to go there because we're scared because they're trying to trick us. They say they have authority, but that they call the currency bucks. And they expect us to agree with that. But then, that prompts us to think, well, duck rhymes with buck. How many ducks are there in a buck? Like, if we're supposed to be assimilated to this Wild West culture where they say they don't have dollars, but they have bucks, and they want those if we want to recycle a battery or electronics. So we don't have any friends or family to help us with this. So we just ask, we just think about it. How many bucks, or how many ducks are in a buck? And we don't know the answer to that. But, these ducks, or these bucks, they have companion currencies called doughs. Some people call it bucks and some call it doughs. And so, like these humans, the buck, or the doughs, they have 3 quacks in them. If you're a little kid and everybody wants to abuse a little baby by throwing condoms down on a playground wherein we have a little public drink while everybody else demands privacy from their government and each other while they abuse the baby and get privately rich on a piece of paper, they want bucks. So the only thing we could figure is a dough has 3 quacks in it. All these peoples that say they want, so-called peoples, that say they want liberty and privacy and other rights that they deny us. Yeah, you got to deny your victims such rights or you don't have any. That's what they say. So, just like a little kid doesn't pronounce their R's and they use W's instead. They say things like freedom with a W. They say freedom instead of freedom. They say freedom. And so, in the same way, when you say quack, that translates into crack. Like as in a vagina or a butthole or a mouth hole. It's a quack. So a dough has 3 quacks in it. And one of them you stick a buck in so that you can get more bucks and doughs out of it. They say that only one of those quacks. They say the dough has 3 quacks. Quack, quack, quack in it. And they want to stick their bucks into the quack that gives them more bucks and doughs if they stick their bucks in it.